see what we got. Let me play my video.
Entire career, just how he held this team together.
Congrats. You deserve it, man. Thanks, brother. You do. So happy for you.
My goodness, he finally got his due.
Way to go, baby.
No way we wasn't getting this before you. I promise you that. But no way.
First of all, I never thought I'd be coaching again. And then do it in our second year is really, really special.
Way to go, baby. Way to go.
Welcome to another episode of Bucking Around. I go by the name of Guru. How y'all doing tonight on this Sunday evening? We are here to recap week 2 episode of we doing it live. A week 2 preseason, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got a real special guest that y'all see. This brother is not a friend anymore. He's family to me, and he's a Jags fan. My dog, E Jizzle. E Jizzle, what's up, man?
Hey, man, just cooling, brother.
Thank you for stopping by, bro.
Of course.
So with that being said, last night's final score was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a whopping 7 and the Jacksonville Jaguars with a total of 20 points, man. So E Jizzle, since you're my guest, man, I guess you can go ahead and tell me, things that you saw. We'll start with the defensive side first. So you give your side defense and I'll give mine, and then we'll go from there.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't take too much stock into it because a lot of the players that we did have in there were rotational pieces, especially, Chad Muma, who was he was a third or fourth round pick for us, but he really plays in rotation. A lot of our D linemen are kind of like rotational pieces. So, I mean, to take much stock in it would be fool's gold, to say the least. But I think for us, and I know we had that conversation about a couple weeks ago, and I know I told you we started the season 8-3 and collapsed our way down to finish 9-8. So it's important for us to have good depth, good rotational pieces, because the injury bug did kind of mess us up on both sides of the ball. So as long as they can kind of keep that going, especially more so in the secondary, which is really my biggest concern.
Right.
But if our D line can get the pressure that we need it to do, then I'm really not too worried about our secondary. Our linebacker core is really good because I'm sure you're familiar with Alua Khan, who was in Atlanta for a few years and is a tackling machine. And we got pieces on there: Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead that we just signed, who can really provide that pressure that we really need for us to get those stops. Especially with the type of schedule that we're going to have in the beginning of the season with, Miami and Buffalo and Cleveland and Houston to start off the season. So it's really good to kind of get that depth and kind of figure out what we're going to do with our rotational pieces. So that way we can start off real strong, because to start off anything better than 3-1, 2-2 kind of puts us behind the 8 ball.
Right. Well, I told you this on the phone, bro. Even before the game, y'all have talent on that side of the football. It's just at this point executing and putting it together. And like you just said, y'all do have a new DC this season, so we'll see what he'll be able to take it. But I do really, really like y'all edge rushers. Josh Allen, I know. He was a star. He's a starter. And what's the other cat name on the other side?
That's Trayvon. We got that's the one. He's one of our other DNs that kind of gets criticized because he was in that same draft as Aiden Hutchinson, who a lot of Jacksonville fans feel like should have been taken number 1. But if you look at their stats, they're pretty much in the same boat. Hutchinson may have a lot more sacks, but Trayvon is now Trayvon is better with his hand in the dirt
Right.
versus standing upright. A lot the
Mm-hmm.
last season we ran a 3-4. Now we're running a 4-3. So with his hand in the dirt, on not only on the edge but on the inside, he can get that power move to kind of get where he needs to go. Because a lot of defenses are going to be focusing their attention on Josh Allen because he's such a demanding player and such a force on the edge. So that should free up some space along with Eric Armstead, who's coming from the 49ers Super Bowl pedigree, kind of can get that veteran leadership type deal that can kind of like hopefully set us over the top. And that's really all we can really ask for.
Right. So I'm gonna get into our Buccaneers side, man. Saw some things that I liked, saw some things that I really, really couldn't stomach. I was at the I was like, yo, this is with the season being less than 2 weeks away. Well, if 2 weeks, it ain't. I don't like what I see. So I'll start with the positives first. I did really, really like our edge guys, especially Jose Ramirez. You know, him and Mac Jones became best friends last night. And I like this brother because he's one of them, what they call it, out the mud type, you know, 6th round. Spent some time on the practice squad. So my man is ready to make that next step and further his career and really prove to the Buccaneers front office that, hey, I deserve a spot on this 53-man roster. And I definitely want to make an impact for this year. So by him getting 3 sacks, that was respect. That
It helps
shows
out
me
too because Randy Gregory not gonna be on the team anyway. That frees up a spot.
exactly. And even with that, so he don't even show up. And like Coach Bowles said, they they asked him this morning. They said, "Hey, Coach, do you miss him?" Coach Bowles said, "I can't miss what I don't have." So,
Which is true. Which is absolutely true. I mean, between that, you got Yaya or
right.
Yaya on the end. I know hell, we went to the game when I was at the game with you last year when Jacksonville came into town. A lot of people weren't too high on Tryon. So
And you know I ain't.
so I mean I get it. Like we got it's funny because we got kind of like a reverse thing. So like y'all got Vita Vea who's a force on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
But our interior is not our strong suit. Our outside on the edge is where we make our bread and butter.
Right.
But for y'all, it's like the complete opposite. And Jags fan or not, I pay attention. It's the home team. I know y'all was kind of like a cap casualty too, especially on the secondary. But I mean, you had to pay some people.
Yeah.
So choices had to be made. Yeah. So I mean, Winfield definitely is a piece you had to pay. I know Carlton Davis. I'm not too familiar with Carlton Davis's game, but I know I've heard mixed signals about him in terms of his play. But I mean, I know Jamil Dean is a stud. I know
When he want to be.
when he want to be. McCullum is another one that I've heard. You know, he shows flashes.
Yes.
Izzy is another person that I know can show flashes.
Absolutely.
I want to say, was it Hall for you guys? Played really well last night, in my opinion.
Bryce Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
he just with him, because I really liked him. I actually put him in my show notes, but with him, he's like gonna be real handsy. I can see him getting a lot of PIs because he got one last night, but the interception.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's like a reminiscent of a early Carlton Davis when he came straight from Auburn, he had a lot of talent. That's why we took him where we did, but very handsy until he got that under control and then just played ball. So I with him last night, that reminded me of a young Carlton Davis. So, but yeah, man, I just think that if we can put together and get it, see, the Bucs' problem is we need a consistent pass rush. So, because Coach Bowles is blitzing out of because he needs to, not because we get natural, consistent pass rush. That means you're putting more pressure on the secondary. So Antoine, them, Dean McCullum is in. And we bought Whitehead back, so he's familiar with the system. You put more pressure on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even though last night was preseason and it was 3s and 4s in there, you see how Mac Jones, you see all those open holes in the zone. It was crazy.
Chilling. Yeah, he was chilling in the pocket. And again, like I said, they think Mac Jones is the savior up there. which is insane in this preseason. But I mean, I get it. We kind of in that same boat last year where we had the blitz and our secondary wasn't the strongest. So in turns, that messes us up along with the injury bug and everything else. So, but like I said, real good piece. KJ Brett, Ramirez is a good piece. Talking to my girl's dad, I know that he's saying that Gaines is supposed to, they really need Gaines to kind of step up, provide that interior pressure as well. So y'all know what y'all need. Is not as if y'all are not in a position to win the division, but the better production you get out your defense, the easier it is, because the offense gonna do what it does.
Right, of course.
On that side of the ball, you know what I'm saying? Especially with Mike and Chris and Rashard, and McMillan's a good piece that that's a steal of a draft pick in my opinion out of Washington.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna get to the offense in a minute, but
man,
it's just to kind of like wrap up the defensive side of the ball for me. And I told you this Friday. I think we talked Friday. I think it was Thursday. When I was telling you about old boy that we drafted in the second round from Bama, Braswell. And he couldn't get back there, get home last week against Cincinnati. So I said, okay, let me give it one more week. Let me see. Last night, I'm reading Bucs Twitter. Everybody like, oh, he played good. How? Ramirez was the star of the show. And I kept reading tweets. And, bro, I was at the sports bar watching the game, and I kept seeing him. He's winning one-on-one. He's winning every rep. I'm like, nah, I didn't see it. And I watched the whole thing.
Do you think that's like an Alabama bias?
Of course it is. Of course it is, bro. Because E-Jizzle, like I told you on the phone, if you was that dude, you think Saban gonna keep you from playing on the field? Absolutely. He needs you.
Absolutely not. Especially in the SEC when you're competing for national championships. Absolutely not.
Right. They a lot of people talking about, oh, well, he came from Alabama and he came from that system. Man, scratch that, bro. I said, okay, when we drafted him, I said, oh, I want to see what the hype is. I have not seen nothing yet. So I'm going to give him one more week next week. And then if not, I'll be ready to send him packing. He not going to make this team because last night was a critical turning point because Ramirez is like, look, I'm who y'all need. How the young people say, I'm him, not this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Ramirez 6th round pick. So he coming to eat somebody's lunch. So I tweeted last night. I said we may have found the starter to go on the other side of Yaya, because JTS is cool, but he's not a starter. So I'm happy that we seeing somebody step up that's young. And because once we lost Shaq Barrett, once Grandy Gregory didn't pan out, so this guy right here, you got him. JTS, I'm cool with keeping him as long as he is he's a great rotation piece. He's not a starter. He's never been a starter. And for him, and this is his last year, the contract, Jizzle, we already declined the 50 option. So he know with this year, he got to put it on tape. But ain't nobody gonna want him, man.
Yeah, you never know. You know whenever it's a contract year, people ball out, and it may be to your benefit. Now, if it's up to Bowles to put him in the starting end or linebacker spot to make that work, be just based on. I mean, I personally wouldn't start him.
No, right.
Last, but again, I know that's up to Todd Bowles' decision in terms of who's familiar with his system, how that's going to work. But I mean, I know they'll figure it out after next week in terms of what they're going to do. But I completely agree with you. Ramirez looked good. I know there's a SEC biases. Trust me, I've had this conversation with you over the phone over our litany of SEC draft picks that did not pan out, mind you, first round draft picks at that. So I get it. We had some that worked out like Josh Allen, but we also had a lot that didn't work out like Dante Fowler and Trevin Bryan and Javion Clayson. Like I get it. You playing in a tough conference week after week, but that don't necessarily make you a bona fide talent. Now, can Braswell come into his own? Absolutely.
Sure.
But that takes time and reps, and that's going to take him getting in his bag and in his craft in the offseason to get better at that so he can force his way into that starting role, because I know they're just not going to give it to him.
Oh, no, sir. And bro, you know what's crazy? I've heard this consistently from people that's been here and that's left. A lot of people say Todd Bowles has a very hard defense to grasp. I keep hearing that like over and over. And you know that old cliche saying, you hear something more than once, it's probably true, especially coming from different people. And they say the way these guys portray Todd Bowles' defense is like it's Chinese arithmetic. They said it's very, very exotic and complex. And if you ain't gonna get it. I don't know what it is. It seems simple on the field, but then again, we not in the meeting rooms. We not, when he drawing stuff up. But a lot of guys say that, and so maybe it's just something that Braswell isn't grasping. I don't know, but I would love for him to, be a rotation guy. I think he could come in, on the second team and establish himself. But as far as a starter, that ain't gonna happen.
I was gonna ask you, 51 for y'all. Do you see him making the roster? I can't think of doing that.
51. Backer.
Yeah, linebacker. I can't think
of them cats, man, that they don't even make. I be trying to keep a mental capacity. Who gonna stay? Who gonna go?
Russell. There we go. Sorry, it just came to me. Russell.
Maybe. It just depends, bro. Like, what's gonna do it is next week. You're gonna see everybody, even when y'all play y'all game. That last preseason game. That's when you gotta lay it all out on the table, like, because you may or you may not make this team, or unless you go to,
Well, the only reason I ask, because Levante David's up there, KJ Britt's kind of like coming into his own, so I'm more so asking from a depth perception, a depth perspective in terms of linebacker, because I know y'all run at 3-4, so I know that's a little bit different. So because you need more linebackers for what you got going on, so that's the only reason why I was asking if that was something that could be a possibility. Because I mean, he played pretty decent in the first half last night. So
you talking about my man JJ Russell. I put him in my notes too. I just couldn't think of his name, but I would like to have him, but at the same time, it's if you do make the team, what's going to be asked of you to do, because with a 3-4 system, everybody has to be athletic. Opposed to a 4-3, you can hide some stuff, but 3-4, you got to be on your A game. You feel me? So from what I seen last night, yeah, that's why I wrote it down. But it's a few guys. I like Rashad Wisdom. Dude just got a dope last name, but he played good.
Yeah.
Brett. I mean, we seen Bucs fans. We seen that last year. That what he was coming to his own. He had to step up because he got called to come in for Devin White. So
right.
He took Devin White's job. Kayvon Merriweather, really really good. That's the guy that his knee Will Ghost fell on his knee. So other than that, man, and this brother
he was
here
playing really well.
He was
a couple games.
He was, sure. Yeah. Great preseason. I'm having a hard time pronouncing his name. I think he's the African brother. His name is League Ugok. He was getting back there, causing some problems. So we got the talent, bro, and we got some young guys that's hungry.
Yeah.
Jizzle, at this point, I'm not all about the sexy name no more. If you can come in and have impact, let's run it. Let's roll.
Right. I agree.
And you cheat. I like you more.
Look, teams love you when you produce and you cheat.
Right.
Look at Brock Purdy. Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect example.
Exactly, bro. That's a great point. But before we close out on defense, I'm gonna say this, bro. And you said this earlier when you was talking about the division. What's really kind of making me a little anxious is like, Bucs, we don't have time to be sitting around no more. That gap is closing because Atlanta is making moves, and they ready. Judon, Justin Simmons.
Yeah.
Atlanta ain't playing, and I'm not even a hater.
Arthur Blank ain't playing with y'all no more.
You feel me? So he's saying, look, I have this beautiful stadium, which is a beautiful stadium.
Amazing.
And they want a winning product. And those people in Atlanta, I visit the city very often. It's like another home to me. They do deserve a winning product.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking like, hey, Bucs fan, y'all better quit playing. We need to stay 10 steps ahead. Don't think it's the tortoise and the rabbit race, because they coming. And that gap is closing. It's getting closer to what you think.
Yeah.
So, just a final thoughts on your Jags before we close the defense.
As long as we can get pressure. Again, speaking of Atlanta, our D coordinator just came from Atlanta. So his big thing is getting pressure with our front four. If we can get that and get that along with the depth, I think we'd be good, man. Our secondary is decent. We got a lot of cats from Green Bay. I know we got, you remember Ronald Darby from Florida State came in, so he gonna be on the opposite side. So as long as we good D-line play and linebacker play, I personally think the sky's the limit, because, I mean, your division is just as hard. Just imagine us. I know they give Houston the runaway because, it's pretty, but I still believe that we are a formidable team. We didn't play terrible, but, I mean, again, injuries collapsed us last year, so I think we got a good shot as long as we start off good and our defense plays well. And Miami's going to be a good test, especially week 1. So,
for sure. To wrap it up, for defense on our side of the ball, I just want to continue to see. We got the Dolphins coming in town Friday. I'm definitely going to go to that game, and this is a dress rehearsal game, and I need to see guys that's, you try to make this team. If you don't want to go back to working at Chick-fil-A or working at Advanced Auto Parts, bring your A game, man. or you're gonna go back to the practice squad, bro. We need consistent pass rush. Bad. I'm not worried about the secondary because we got Twan, we got Whitehead back,
Y'all got some studs back there for sure.
Zion, Dean. We straight. I'm just more focused on the backers and them hogs, but even when it's more so to me the edges, because we got Kalijah Cansey, Will Golston, we got Big Vita.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the D tackles. We got Greg Gaines coming in rotation, Anthony Nelson.
Yeah.
So we got the guys that put their hand in the dirt that can get back there. We just need help from the edge guys to get back there. So Yaya, he's hurt. He should have been playing, but he hurt his foot early in camp. And JTS, I need to see something, man. Unless I'm just ready to throw you away. You know, so and
if he don't produce, you know they're gonna it's all gonna be all hero. Ain't no extension, nothing.
Right. And Braswell, look, I'm gonna give you one more chance. And if I don't see nothing on Friday, them tweets, that slander is coming. I tried to refrain last night to be nice. I don't care if you from Alabama. He just our team in the ACC. If you could play football, you can play. I don't care where yet.
Oh yeah.
So I'm tired of that whole narrative and all of that. But so that's all I got, man. So we're gonna hop over to offense. Tell me what you saw on y'all side of the ball for offense, man. What you like?
Brian Thomas is gonna be a stud. I know we were just talking about SEC biases, but he come from that LSU Legion of Boom wide receiver core. I mean, hell, you run out of fingers start naming top tier receivers that's coming out of that program, man. So he's really good. Matt Jones is a serviceable backup. Like I will tell you that. Like I told you, last year when we saw Trevor kind of forced himself to play that game when we played y'all last year, because we were literally on I want to say that was about a 3-game losing streak. So we need a serviceable quarterback behind Trevor. O-line played fairly decent for the most part. Again, I know we're talking 3s, 4s. But O-line played decent. Bigsby played really well, and I'm not too critical on Bigsby. We probably could have used a different draft pick on him to kind of like shore up maybe like our O-line, because he had a lot of butterfingers last year and fumbling the ball, so he really didn't play a lot last year. So I think they're trying to look to him to make sure that he can kind of get more of a confidence boost in terms of playing him a little bit more. So as long as he can control the fumbles and produce and back up ETN properly like he's supposed to, I think we're gonna be straight, man. Because we pretty much I do too. And again, gotta hold on to the football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he would fumble at the worst times in the game, and it would drive you insane.
Yeah.
Like, so I do believe, and wholeheartedly, I do believe that our offense is going to be a lot better than what it was last year. And we played decent, but I know I mentioned earlier that we were 8-3 at one point during the season. That easily could have been 9-2, 10-1. Because the Kansas City game, we only lost by 4 or 5 points, but had a lot of drops in the end zone. I want to say the Philadelphia game was another one where it was close, but drops hindered us. And we had Calvin Ridley, but again, Calvin Ridley was supposed to be the wide receiver to take us over the top. Yeah, he had 1,000 yards, but it didn't pan out how we wanted it to. And so Tennessee decided to overpay him. But the funny part about it is Trevor played better the year before he came.
Right.
with Christian Kirk and Zay Jones and Evan Ingram and Travis Etienne. So basically, we can swap out Brian Thomas with or swap out Calvin Ridley with Brian Thomas, and I guarantee you Trevor gonna have a lot more touchdowns and interceptions, a lot less drops. But from the offensive standpoint, our biggest thing is the O-line. We really didn't hit that collapse until that Cincinnati game when Trevor got hurt. And then he tried to come back. He didn't play Cleveland, forced himself to play the Baltimore game, and by that time, it was all she wrote. So we got the center from Buffalo, who I heard is decent, kind of got some injury issues, but I mean, who don't? But I mean, if he's been protecting Josh Allen for the last few years, I think we should be straight. And you paid Trevor $270 million man. You got to protect him. You got to keep him upright.
Right.
When Trevor got time, I promise you, when Trevor got time, Trevor is the best out of the quarterbacks that this league has to offer. And I get it. We all watch ESPN. We all see the bias. You gonna hear Joe name, Patrick name,
Yeah.
Tua, Lamar, which to credit, they're all great.
Right.
But I firmly believe Trevor is a top 10 quarterback. I can die on that hill. Y'all seen him in Clemson? You seen him in Clemson? That ain't no fluke. Yeah. The man ain't no fluke. Look at the man quarterback class with Zach Wilson, and I forgot who else was in that class. None of them cats starting no one. Trevor, the only one left. So first year with Urban Meyer's a total disaster. Don't know why we hired him, but whatever.
I don't even count that.
Can't count that year, right? First year with Doug Peterson, what we do? Go to the playoffs. And we were trying to do something that y'all done the last 3 years. And that's just having consecutive playoff appearances. We ain't had that since 98.
Right.
99. So
it's been a minute.
For you non-Jags fans, that's a long time. This is our 30th season. We've only been to the playoffs probably less than 10 times. If I can,
no way, bro.
I can't make it up. We started in 96, same year as Carolina. So 97, 96, 97, 98, 99.
Okay.
2007.
Right.
2017.
So the Saxonville era.
Saxonville era was when we went to the AFC title game and lost.
Yes. Right.
Then 2022. So 6.
That's crazy.
I could be wrong. I could be off. And I could be off. It may be more than 10. But to my knowledge, I can only count 6 times that we've been to the playoffs. And we've had good teams. But we ran into Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And Marvin Harrison all them years. Tom Brady all them years. Pittsburgh and them. And our ownership ain't been the greatest, but now we have an owner that actually cares and is willing to invest in the team and do all that stuff. So we trying to build something that is consistent. So I believe our offense can compete with the Miamis of the world and the Cincinnatis of the world. I truly believe that. Depending on who calling the plays, though, because Doug didn't call plays last year. Press Taylor did. So a lot of fans, myself included, it's kind of skeptical about Press because, again, we were up there. Look at our record. We were up there. But then we see the collapse that we had towards the end of the season. So it's kind of But when Doug called the plays in his first year, we thrived. So I think Doug has confidence in Press to call plays. They got him calling plays in the field now versus in the booth, so maybe that'll kind of help change it up. He get a little different viewpoint on things, man. But long and short, like I said, we definitely got studs on that offensive side of the ball, man. That excites me the most, especially with the type of schedule that we got, because we gonna have to put up points for sure. So as long as, like I said, as long as we can keep Trevor upright, and we gotta do better at run blocking, because ETN couldn't make a crease for ETN to squeeze through if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible. Our run offense was terrible, and our run off. And if we can run the ball, then our play action works a lot better. Because not only is ETN a good run threat, he's a good pass threat on the back end too.
Mm-hmm.
All of that got to work. But if we can't run the ball and we got to throw the ball 30 times with Trevor, man, they just gonna eat that up every time. So, but just looking at from what I saw last night, like I said Tank Bigsby looked good last night running the ball, even with the second and third stringers that we had on the O line. So that can kind of help me feel confident enough that when we put our starters in there, they can make the holes that we need to make to kind of give up that space for ETN to hit the home run play and also allow Trevor to kind of sit upright to make the throws that he needs to make, because we got the receivers that can make those plays. I'm excited about Gabe Davis. I'm excited about Kirk being back, because Kirk got hurt towards the end of the year. I don't think he played when we were in Tampa. So you know what I'm saying. So we were missing a lot of pieces. Ingram is always a threat. So it's gonna be exciting. But again, we just got to start fast, man. Like if we can start the year how y'all ended the year last year, we'll be made.
I think that for what I seen last night, bro, like you said, your backup running back, fire. You know what I mean? We damn sure couldn't bring him down. And so Mac Jones looked like first team all pro last night. They blowing him up, man. Golly.
That's it. They think he the savior, man. I mean, he a Jacksonville kid, so I get it.
Yeah, okay.
So you know what I mean. So I get it. He a local kid. Y'all hype you back home. We got him for a 6th-round pick, so I ain't really tripping about that. That's great. He has starter experience.
Mm-hmm.
So if Trevor for any reason goes down, God forbid, I know we got somebody that's serviceable,
right,
that can do what he needs to do, because he won games. It's not like he didn't take New England to the playoffs at one point. So, you know what I mean? So I feel confident in the roster that we got, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I said, if Tank can hold on to the ball, we straight, man. But I see Trash still doing trash things.
I'm about to get. I just wanted to make sure you was done with your side of the offense, and
yeah, man. No, I'm excited about him, man, for sure.
Well, with that being said, we're gonna start with the receivers. We're gonna get to Kyle Trask last. It's a few guys that I seen last night, man. Well, before we get to the receivers, the tailbacks, Bucky Irvin, stud.
I like Bucky.
Man, look here. I know it's early, but he may be what we've been praying for to help be a compliment to Rashad. Some Bucs Twitter saying Rashad need to be looking over his shoulder. I'm like, hold on, that's a little too far. But I get it. You're excited, and I can see that. Yeah. But Rashad is running back number 1. Please don't get it twisted. Sean Tucker, man, little man, get off. Another guy that's had to come up through the practice squad ranks. We would have took him higher, but he had a heart condition.
I remember he out of Syracuse, right?
Yeah, heart condition. So he had to, get himself together. Look like this brother is ready for the season. The way he running, like he got a point to prove, and I love it.
He seems like a goal line back for y'all too.
Absolutely, bro. you know, short yardage, situation.
Yeah.
Um, we may not even need Chase Edmonds. I don't even think we're gonna keep Chase. I know we signed him back, but hey,
Really?
huh?
Really?
Yeah, we signed Chase. He was the first one we grabbed before we drafted Bucky.
But you think Bucky gonna get him out the paint?
Absolutely. Bucky is running back two. We just looking at who gonna be three, and I want
Got
to
you.
keep Sean Tucker. I like him, man. Now that this brother is ready and healthy and got his health together, you see how he running. You know what I mean? Last
Yeah.
week he had a good showing against Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and so we're gonna see the starters play more next week because it's a dress rehearsal, so they're gonna be in at least to the first half. I mean, to the second half, excuse me. So our backfield looked fantastic last night. I wrote in my notes 3-headed monster. And that's what it's looked like it's gonna be. And that makes it better for Rashad because he don't have to be. He is an aircraft carrier. He is a 3-down back, but who don't want help, and especially
Yeah.
they all run. It was dope about it, Jizzle. They all are different. Shad is the more power, downhill,
Yeah.
patient, open, wait for the hole to open, which used to drive me nuts. Cause I'm like, bro, you waiting to Christmas, Thanksgiving to hit the hole, man. But he got better with that. Bucky, twitchy, shifty, get in, get out. I'm hitting the hole. He remind me like I'm playing the game on college football, bro. Like he just hit that hole, go. Sean Tuck, and he's twitchy. He can put his feet in the dirt and make a couple cats miss. I love it. And
Yeah.
he can get to the next level quickly. Sean Tucker, same thing. Bucs Twitter saying that he reminds them of a vintage Ward Dunn. I can see that.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Not the biggest, not the fastest, but
Swiftly
can
though.
get in and out of traffic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited.
That's a solid comparison for sure.
And when they kept saying, I'm like, man, you know what? Yeah, because Ward wasn't he ain't had a burners. He was fast enough to get to where he needed to go, but obviously out of all three of our backs, Bucky is the fastest. But it's like I said, they all have different run styles, which makes it great. And then to my receivers, Jalen McMillan. No, that is not my cousin. Our last names is spelled different. For the 50,000th time, that is not my cousin. Please stop asking me that. That is not my cousin, bro. Okay, our last names are spelled different. He's missing the I. You feel me? I'm so tired. Yo, no. Nobody in my family is that light. Well, my aunt is, but still.
Right.
So, but yeah, like you said earlier, Jizzle, still, bro. Man. But what's crazy, I said on my show, the first show I did when camp first started, I kept hearing praises heap on this guy. I'm like, man, what's up with dude? So the day after my birthday on the 1st, I went to camp. And they were saying, Mike was saying, for this brother to be a rookie, he polished. So I'm like, okay. And then I started seeing, stuff on, the Bucs YouTube and Instagram. I'm like, okay. And they were saying he can easily be number 3. Trey Palmer may have to kick back and go to special teams.
Well, that was gonna be my question to you, because for him, Roma Duze gets a lot of the hype, but
Yeah.
he was pretty much the Robin to his Batman on that Washington offense and thrive. So I was gonna ask you, because obviously Mike gonna be in there,
Chris.
Also, what about Sterling Shepard? Like, I ain't really seen him.
He ain't been playing.
Yeah, Like, is that like a guaranteed type? Like, are we gonna keep him for like depth purposes or like?
I believe so, but we didn't know that all these guys was gonna start showing out, and it's a good problem to have because Jalen, that's gonna be number 3. So
I
now we
like that.
just looking at 4 down and see how many receivers the Bucs gonna carry. I'm thinking they probably gonna carry 5, maybe. Um, but we got even after him, we got Ryan Miller. They said he could be like a Scotty 2.0, number 81 last night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I like him because he is a gadget dude. No, not him. Ryan Miller is like your possession guy.
Got you.
You know, he's a real physical, but he's small.
Yeah. Got you.
Cody Thompson, that's the gadget dude. That's the dude that came in from Seattle. That's who scored the touchdown last night. Our only touchdown. Yes. And he can do special teams. That's the dude number 80 with the visor that scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
See, he's good with jet sweeps and all of that type of stuff. See, we can use him for that. And he got speed on him, and he's a little dude. And so I did enjoy seeing him last night. And then we got Tanner Canoe, real fast, got decent hands. Mm-hmm. Now I can see Tanner going to special teams. They probably gonna keep Cody because he can do more than Miller can. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this new exotic offense that Liam Cohen coming with, because he come from that McVay tree with motions and you know, different formations and looks. So I can see, not saying that Ryan can't, well, maybe they may have something that they can use them both, but I like them all. He just, honestly, if you would have asked me, I would keep all these brothers, honestly, because we can do something with them all. I'd probably say we have to cut probably Jared, because we already got physical dudes that's big, and Mike and Chris, they one and the same to me. Chris just a little fast. So we need speed, dog. That's what we've been missing, speed, since Scotty Miller left. But that's what put us over the edge in that Super Bowl run. Speed. Yeah. AB was speed. Scotty Miller was speed. Trey got speed, but Trey leave his hands at home sometimes.
Butterfingers, yeah. Well, he ain't leave him at home when he played us, dog. I'll tell you that.
And see, Jizzle, that's gonna be the factor right there, because Trey job ain't safe. Because Jalen is ready to be a day one starter, and for what I've seen, I'm gonna wait till preseason done. But right now, if I would have had to say, he's gonna start day one, or they may switch both of them off because they can do the similar things. And plus, I like Jalen. He can run every route. He can catch. You can put him anywhere. And
the boy stud.
Exactly. So for Mike Evans, a veteran, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest Bucs ever, if not the, saying that this dude is very polished as a rookie, and for me to lay eyes on it and see myself, because he just, veterans don't say that about rookies. They say, he's coming along and he's developing.
Yeah, they don't give him the props that they really need or really deserve.
For this brother to say he's very polished,
no, that's big time.
So that's what I'm like, man. I'm anxious to see who they're gonna keep and who not. But but other than that, man, that's it for offense, man. And we can quickly run through special teams before we get up out of here. What you seen on special teams on the Jags, man?
Parker Washington, man. Well, I like him and Devin Duvernay. I know Duvernay ain't really played. We got him from Baltimore. He's a more so our return specialist. Since we let Agnew go, in the offseason. So with this new kickoff rule, it seems like Parker Washington's been taking advantage of it. He had a couple nice returns, especially when we played. Damn, who was that? I forgot who we played the first week. Anyway, I think it's gonna do well for us. Our special teams really hasn't been an issue. Like that's probably the one thing that I probably haven't worried about in the last few seasons. To be honest with you, now, especially since we had Agnew, it
Mm-hmm.
just sucks. It sucked that we just, we would capitalize on getting these, kickoff returns or punt returns for touchdowns, but it doesn't really kind of give us cushion. It'd be like in a we coming from behind situation, and we never really capitalize from it. So uh, I feel fairly confident in it. I feel like we will at least get a couple. We can at least get a few returns out of somebody. I really do like Parker Washington. He'd probably be more so our punt returner more than anything. And then Duvernay, or maybe him and Duvernay in the back for kickoffs. Um, I'm not too familiar with our kicker because I know, oh boy, we had McManus last year and that didn't pan out how we wanted it to. He was missing field goals left and right, just leaving points on the board. So, but as long as we got a decent kicker on the squad and can just help us put points on the board, I could care less. We good on punter straight. You know what I'm saying? We got decent kick returners and punt returners, man. We just gotta get these field goals in so that way we can take advantage of these drives, even if we can't get touchdowns for it.
Right on, bro. So for the Bucs special teams, first of all, McLaughlin, I'm on your boy because if you miss another field goal again, I'ma personally come where you at. I'm gonna come find out where you like to eat lunch and dinner at, and I'm gonna come find you, bro. Like I told you before, the Falcons, I'm worried. I'm gonna say it. Like Bucks fans, I'm sorry. I'm concerned because there's no room for error. Because just think about this: if we're in a tight game and it's come down to a field goal, I need to know that I have that confidence in you that you're gonna put three on the board, like
Yeah,
Grammatica used to. They used to call a
yeah,
man Automatica
yeah,
Grammatica.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for a
I remember.
long time, we had since Grammatica left, we've been going through kickers like left and right. We thought Aguayo, Florida State's on wasn't it? Was not it.
That
I
was a
don't know where
terrible.
he at now.
That was a terrible pick. I ain't even finna hold you.
Took him in the second round, bro.
Yeah, that was bad.
Traded up for him.
And I'm a Florida State guy till I die, man. That was a bad pick, man.
Woo! But again, so I'm not too much worried about like Coach said, man. This brother was very reliable, very reliable last season. So, you
Yeah,
know, you know, uh, just a couple games, man. But I just don't want him to carry that into the regular season. I do myself. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about this new kickoff. How it's gonna work.
yeah,
I respect the NFL for trying to alleviate serious injury, but they gonna lock up and clash anyway. So,
yeah,
I get it. I respect it, especially like in the off season in camp. They're doing the guards around the helmets now, and that's cool. Um, so we got a couple of guys that's probably gonna make special teams. Like I said, probably Trey is gonna be returning kicks and punts. Trey Palmer, I probably see either Thompson or Miller alongside with him on kick return.
okay.
I can see probably Thompson returning punts. So it's a job for everybody. But like I said, I seen Thompson last night on kickoff and kickoff return. So, this man trying to get him a job, he just, you know what I'm saying?
He played he very solid all around last night. For
So,
sure. I just wish he had better quarterback play on his end, but
Oh shoot, man. Yo, real quick. I forgot to address Kyle Trash. Trash, really, really quick. My brother, you started off really decent. I be trying to shoot you some bail. You be making me look bad, man. But um, we took you in the second round, and you already come from a university that I really don't too much care for. But you was a Buck, so I took you in. I don't know what's going on. We go to the same barbershop. Shout out to Nat. I don't know, man. I don't know. That sack, it was not good. Throw it away. Do not take a sack like that, bro. Um, and Lord forbid if Baker go down, he just a weak man. Cause Wolford and Trash, Atlanta definitely will get the division in. So we gonna
man,
keep Baker lifted in prayer and for a healthy season. Um, But Jizzle, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, my brother. I really, really appreciate you, dog, for pulling up on me, man, and
of
doing this
course.
chat, bro. Any last words, man, before we get up out of here, bro?
Um, like I said, I'm always rooting for the home team. I'm Duval till I die, but I'm a 813 lifer for so I'm always support the Bucks, and I hope that we both have a successful season. I don't care about Miami; they can kick rocks, but
For
but
sure.
I definitely hope that y'all have a successful season. Like I said, I know y'all not really worried about Carolina, but I know Atlanta is sneaking up on you. New Orleans is always a sneaky
Right.
divisional team that you got to worry about. So I know, and I know y'all kind of got like a somewhat decent start to the season before y'all kind of hit the nitty gritty of it. So
Right.
hopefully y'all can get a few wins under your belt before divisional play and all that stuff, man. So um, I like what y'all I like what you're doing. I like what y'all doing. I like what y'all got going on. I'm very glad that y'all re-signed a quarterback for once,
Yeah.
which is you know which really ain't the norm.
Right.
So and I like Baker, especially
Yeah.
and I'm hopeful that with this new system that he can kind of really continue to do what he did last year.
For sure.
Because he had a really really great year last year.
Absolutely.
Um, so yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting. College start next week, NFL the week after that, man. It's football. I'm glad football is back, man. So I ain't gotta keep watching these dusty baseball games all week.
Man. Jizzle, man. Like I said, my brother, I appreciate you for pulling up on me. Much health and success to your Jags. I know how I feel. They crowning the Texans, but you got to come get it if you want it.
All right.
Um, to my Bucks, we gonna be all right. We just Atlanta ain't playing, and I'm not really too much worried about New Orleans or Carolina, but Atlanta is, they coming, and they want the crown because it's been a while. We're gonna try to go for 4 in a row. Jizzle, much health and success to your Jags. Much health and success to my Bucks.
Yes, sir.
Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe and comment on this video. Jizzle, I'm definitely gonna have to grab you, man, for my Florida State show too, bro. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hey
you
man, I'm
know.
down. Me locked in. We're gonna have to link up for that game, my brother.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So all right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Jizzle, appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Later on.